Are you part of a nonprofit organization, a youth group looking to raise cash for your cause? Stay tuned at the end of this video to learn how you can bring the action and excitement of the Millennium Wrestling Federation to your town live, featuring the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans around the corner and around the world, welcome to a special installment of Memories and Legends. I know we promised this was going to be a studio exclusive program. However, when you see what we have in store for you today, I think you're going to be pretty happy with me. We've had some great guests over the past few weeks, but a great one today. And before we get going with our guest of honor this week, we want to remind you about our 6th annual Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. It is ongoing now over at the BostonWrestling.com super site. Each year, we keep the name of our dear friend Paul Bearer alive. Back in 2012, Paul Bearer, myself, and John Cena Sr. started our Holiday Headlocks endeavor with the help of WWE Hall of Famer Ron Simmons. Unfortunately, in the spring of 2013, Paul Bearer passed away, and we miss him each and every day. Believe me. Believe me. Our wrestling world certainly has not been the same, and my personal life has not been the same since. That's a different story for a different time. We've had a host of superstars that have helped in years since, but the true superstar that can help us out is you. We have two different ways you can help the endeavor. The first is the $20 Holiday Headlocks bundle that we offer. That comes with a mystery WWE t-shirt. You pick the size, and it comes with not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 different autographed photos from a variety of superstars that have appeared here in the Millennium Wrestling Federation over the years. It's a great gift to give yourself or give to the wrestling fan on your Christmas/holiday shopping list. If you get 2 bundles, if you're really itching to help, we'll make sure that you get 2 different shirts and 10 different autographed photos and so on and so forth. If that wasn't enough, we have our annual Holiday Headlocks Mega Raffle, where for as little as a $5 raffle ticket, you can win dozens of wrestling prizes valued at over $1,000. Thanks to our dear friends at WWE. We have a WWE pay-per-view chair. We're going to have autographed photos involved in that lot, a wide variety of wrestling books, action figures, the list goes on. And again, it's all to help kids in need. As we like to say here in the Millennium Wrestling Federation, Santa Claus's GPS can't find every kid, so why not help the cause and at the same time win some great merchandise for yourself. Again, head on over to BostonWrestling.com for complete information. Wrestling fans, we expected to have our dear friend Warbeard Hanson with us this week to continue our 6th annual Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. However, with the circumstances going on here in a huge month for professional wrestling fans in New England and the Boston area specifically, we're very happy to be joined by the hottest man in all of podcasting. We're talking about the one and only Mr. Bruce Prichard, who will be live at the House of Blues Sunday, December the 17th at 2 p.m. Bruce, pleasure to have you with us.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here, and I'm really looking forward to getting back to Boston on December 17th, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
I think this will be your first official duty in front of the fans, dating all the way back to the summer of 1990, when you were on a losing end trying to assist Macho Man Randy Savage and Sherry Martel against Dusty Rhodes and Sapphire. Is that true?
Well, I'm pretty sure that Dusty and Sapphire had some shenanigans going on there that were not, just not up to stuff. That's all I'm saying.
They had Miss Elizabeth in their corner, so that must have been what put them over the edge, right?
Of course.
I tell you, like I mentioned, there are a good 6 or 7 big events throughout New England the weekend you're going to be in town, but the event that everybody's talking about is going to be at the House of Blues, a stone's throw away from Fenway Park right across the street. And if you're headed into the WWE pay-per-view Sunday night, it's a simple 8 stops away on the Green Line on the MBTA system for folks that may not be familiar with it if they're not in Boston each and every day to lose their hair to all the traffic we have.
Well, exactly, and if they're going to the WWE show that night, they still got plenty of time to come see our show, and we'll be done in time for them to make it over. and enjoy the. I like to look at it like this. I like to say they come see the main event first, and then they can go to the WWE special event after that.
It's like the old days when Hogan used to go on before intermission, right?
Exactly.
No, it's a great buzz. I kind of look at it like this way, Bruce. When I've been able to enjoy your podcast, whether I'm working away late at night at home on the computer or here at the TV studio, it's almost like you can eliminate whatever's going on in the present-day world of professional wrestling, and you flash back to the good old days. So maybe you could say at 2 p.m. at House of Blues, you may have those warm and fuzzy feelings about those wild Saturday nights at the Boston Garden, and then a little bit later on, you can pop back into present-day 2017 with the Clash of Champions pay-per-view.
There you go.
But I like
get it all in one afternoon.
I love those warm and fuzzy feelings about the old Boston Garden. I think that's part of the reason why your Something to Wrestle With program has become such a worldwide phenomenon.
Well, especially I look back at some of those old Northeastern arenas, Boston Garden being, Madison Square Garden being two of the most memorable. But the biggest thing that I always remember about the Boston Garden was working there in the summer, and I swear that the walls would sweat. It would be so hot in the locker room, and everybody's taking showers and doing everything, and yet you're sitting in there, and there's no place, just absolutely no place to get cool, because you just the walls are sweating, you're sweating, everybody in the arena's sweating, and there's no way out. And then when you went to leave, you had to go down that big ramp
and
in
walk
the back of the building.
And walk through the fans to get to the big ramp.
Oh, yeah. It was crazy.
I tell you, if you thought it was hot in the locker room, you should have tried sitting with 16,000 of your closest friends, some of whom could be a little on the ripe side in the middle of the summer, if you know what I mean.
Without a doubt.
But you know what?
Without a doubt.
There are a few fans that lived through those quote-unquote good old days that wouldn't go back to them if they had that chance. Every Saturday night, once per month, you had great WWF action at the Garden and, some larger-than-life memories. It's funny. I could recite to you probably the top half of the card from every event I was at, which I went every month, from August of 1986, from when I went from the first time, through the end of the Garden era in May of 95 when they shut the building down, then I could some of what's been on the recent television shows the past few weeks. So certainly some great memories were created.
Yeah, it was a great time, and it was one of those just special places where if you were in the business, that if people would ask you, hey, you ever worked the Garden? And that was an answer, yes, because you had worked both Boston and Madison Square.
I would take the old Boston Garden over the new one in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it has just so much more atmosphere, so much more feeling. And I remember just being there, and I was there for the latter days of the net, where they used to have the net to catch all of the stuff being thrown down.
Right, the dangerous days.
Oh, man, and Jim Neidhart being in Raymond Rougeau having Neidhart in like a camel clutch, and Jim Neidhart just saying to me, move. And I just went back a hair, and an ice pick grazed my nose and stuck right in the mat. And I was like, oh, my God. Yeah, it was interesting times, man, to say the least.
I remember I started to go when I was 6 years old, and I just remember being a little guy looking at these crazy fans bashing on those steel gates, waiting to get in to run up the ramp that the fans would enter into. Then they would put up little barricades so the guys could get, up the ramp from where they'd parked the car into the locker room somewhat safely. And it was like Animal House. It was great. The fans nowadays, they'll never be able to have an experience that replicates that.
No, it was different, man. It was crazy, but it was also the experience that unfortunately I don't think that a lot of the talent get to experience today. That feeling, either the love and adoration or the pure unadulterated hatred.
Yeah, I agree with you 110% on that. But as we noted when we kicked off the interview, the great thing for the fans is they'll be able to relive some great memories from that era if they choose to, if they head on over to Something to Wrestle With Live at House of Blues, as we noted the afternoon of the pay-per-view. All right, wrestling fans, enjoying the discussion with Bruce Prichard. Let's take a brief time out, check out the event. We'll be right back.
Boston, Something to Wrestle With, Bruce Prichard and Conrad Thompson live at the House of Blues on Sunday, December the 17th, 2 p.m. start time. You can get your tickets at boxofgimmicks.com. Most importantly, make your plans to join us on Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock at the House of Blues right here in Boston. It is going to be a blast. You never know who's going to show up. You never know what's going to happen. Most important, be there.
Through the ages, across generations, we've searched to know everything. Now, our biggest questions will be answered. It's absolutely everything you need to know about WWE. From inside the ring facts to beyond the ring history. Everything WWE is right here. Absolutely everything you need to know. Available now online or wherever books are sold.
Cleveland on Monday, December 11th. Feel the thrill with a new era Monday Night Raw.
Release the hounds!
Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins reunite as The Shield as they return to Cleveland for the first time in over 3 years to take on Samoa Joe, Cesaro, and Sheamus in a 6-man tag team match. It's WWE Raw live in Cleveland, Monday, December 11th. Tickets and ringsider packages are available.
Wrestling fans, welcome back to Memories and Legends. We're here with the one and only Bruce Prichard. Bruce, where did you get the idea to take this, as we said, a phenomenon in the world of podcasting and turn it into a live event spectacular for the fans to come out and enjoy, have a lot of laughs, have a lot of memories, and maybe even a couple of adult beverages, as we like to say?
Well, the podcast just took off, and we went from when we first started to them saying if you could only get to 10,000 downloads, that'd be great. Our first show did 61,000. We quickly got up to a little over 350,000, and now we do about 1 million. So our audience, I like to say, demanded it, and they wanted more of it. They wanted us to come and be able to do a live podcast version in their local area. And it works out when WWE's have big events. We can kind of piggyback on the hysteria people in town that want something else to do. And maybe some folks don't necessarily want today's product, so they have an opportunity to come and listen to yesteryear and tell stories and be a part of our stuff. It's the great thing about the live show is we tell stories that we just can't always tell on the podcast.
And you tell some
that's where it gets crazy.
Yeah, you tell some great stories on the podcast, so one has to wonder what they might be in for December the 17th over at the House of Blues. I think it's really going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it.
No, it's going to be a blast, and especially with the, there's something about the New England crowd. I lived in Connecticut, so I lived in, I'll call it New England for 15-plus years. And the audiences up there, the passion and the appreciation for just the wrestling business in general is unmatched. And I always love to come back. And it's my first time back in the Boston area in 9 years. It'll be 9 years almost to the day the last time that I was in Boston.
Well, I hope you're going to bring your coat, Bruce. It's a little cooler up here than it is down in Houston right about now.
I don't know. It's freezing down here today.
Oh, really?
It's about 50 degrees. So really, really cold. So you guys aren't that cold, are you?
Oh, we're much cooler than that right about now.
Oh, come on.
Hey, I just got out of the chiropractor's office, and believe me, it had dipped from even when I walked in.
Well, that's crazy, man. Maybe I'll do it by Skype or something.
Yeah, well, you let down several hundred fans if that's the case, because I have a feeling House of Blues is going to be, as Gorilla Monsoon would say, the SRO signs went out early. But tickets are still available from what I know over at boxofgimmicks.com.
Yes, they are. It's so easy just to go to boxofgimmicks.com, get your tickets, and come on down and join us. And it's going to be an absolute blast. Get your drink on. have a good time. We found that folks that enjoy a few adult beverages get with the show a little bit more, and we highly encourage it. So we're going to be talking everything Boston. Like I said, we've got a few stories that we like to reserve that have never been anywhere on the podcast before that we're going to throw out there, and we do it. We let the audience, every show's different because we kind of let the audience dictate the pace and dictate the direction by asking us questions. And we're going to let you kind of figure it out for us.
And from what I recall from trying to get the details on the big event, for the high rollers, there's also a VIP experience that goes along with the Something to Wrestle With live experience.
There is. You get, you obviously you'll get early entry, but it comes with a VIP meet and greet where Conrad and I will sign an autographs, get your picture taken with us, get a special souvenir picture, and a few extras as well. And early entry in, so you're not out there in the cold waiting for the doors to open. But that's going to take place an hour ahead of time. So the doors will be at 1 o'clock and the VIP will be at noon. And the show's going to start promptly at 2 o'clock, and we'll be out of there by 4. But it's always a good time, and it's my once a month when I get to go out and just tell stories live and be around the fans that we love.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. For the fans that haven't checked out Something to Wrestle With, who knows, maybe we may reach a few, even though you're hitting, 7 figures now each week with the downloads. What is the best way to reach or access Something to Wrestle With each and every week?
It's so easy. Just go to somethingtowrestle.com. We drop every Friday at noon Eastern, so somethingtowrestle.com and download it. It's right there, and we want you all to come out and check it out and do that. And if you like, you can go to brucepritchard.com to get one of our great T-shirts that we have available.
Oh, that was on my list.
Hey, have you seen the fanny packs? We got Duke fanny packs. The wonderful, wonderful fanny packs over at brucepritchard.com. And we even have beanies for the cold. So everything that you want, over 92 items to choose from at brucepritchard.com. Don't put a T in my name. Put one on your back, my God.
I tell you, that was on my list to run down, but you did it a lot better than I did.
I always have to get my cheap plugs in.
And there is a bonus that comes along with these T-shirt purchases, if I am correct.
Absolutely, because everybody, when they buy a shirt, we were sitting there one day, and my partner, Conrad Thompson, says, "Man, what do you do when somebody buys a shirt?" I'm like, I don't know. I'll say thank you. And he says, "Well, do you thank them personally?" And so I started instituting when they buy a shirt, by God, I call them just to say thank you, because I really and truly do appreciate it. I'm still kind of humbled by the fact that people would go to brucepritchard.com, get a shirt, take their time out of their day, spend their money, so the least I can do is just say, hey, thank you, and I appreciate you.
Well, it's a good thing with the number of shirts that you're selling, that it's not the old days where it was before unlimited phone calls on the cell phone and the house phone. You'd be going broke. You're a busy man.
Yeah,
from what I've been
that's
told.
what I was going to say. I'd be hurting, but thank God it's a little different now. We have Skype.
So let me ask you this. A year ago, I caught on to the Something to Wrestle With experience. Where did the idea come from on your end to go from being a well-known wrestling personality, one of the highest executives you could reach in the sport, to this new media platform, reaching so many fans each and every week?
Well, Conrad, my co-host, and I were in the mortgage business, and we were talking one day, and I was at his home in Alabama, and he was asked. We would always talk about the wrestling business. He would ask me questions, and the questions would always start with, hey, what happened when? And then fill in the blank. We were talking about the Radicals and Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit, and Perry Steiner. And I told him the story of how the Radicals came into the WWF at the time. And he was just fascinated. Told me that this could be a podcast. And I laughed at him. I said, yeah, that's one of those things that you can chalk up to something that will never happen. I didn't know what a podcast was. I did know what a podcast was. That's not true. But I didn't know really how to download them, and I didn't get it. he talked me into it. He was very persistent. And next thing you know, Conrad had me recording a couple. We threw it out there, and the rest, as I say, is history. I don't know how it hit so quick and so big, but I'm extremely grateful. And, you know, like the rest, as I say, is history. And we just continued to grow from the moment that we debuted.
Did you ever think that you'd reach the 3-hour mark on so many weeks? That's what really blows me away, is that you don't just sit there and talk for a little bit. You really go in depth with the background on some of the great people, personalities, characters, events, storylines in the history of the genre.
We do, and Conrad does his research and has folks do a lot of research for him. And the whole idea behind it is we allow the audience to choose the subject matter each and every week. They can go to facebook.com/something to wrestle, and they can vote on the subject matter, vote on the topic that they want to hear about. And then we take it from there, and we get the research done, and he hammers me with questions, and I go with my best recollection and tell stories. So it's unique in that we don't do guests. I always love it when people say, "Oh, well, who's your guest?" Every rule that we were given in the podcast genre, we have broken. They told us that it's all guest-driven. We've never had a guest. They told us don't go beyond an hour. We obviously broke that rule pretty quick, and we do 3, 4. We even did one almost 5 hours. And then they told us don't curse. And if you listen to our show, our language can get a little salty. So it's we've broken all the rules, and we became the 2017 Sport and Recreation Podcast of the Year, and I thought it was pretty cool.
And maybe to pat yourself on the back a little harder than that, you were up against some real impressive competition with this award, were you not?
Yeah, we were up against Bill Simmons, Dan Layfield, a host of ESPN personalities. It was funny when I was at the award ceremony. I was sitting way in the back. I truly did not expect to win at all. And they ran down the nominees, and your nominees are, and everybody gets a golf clap. They get to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Prichard, and they're the cricket. Nobody, they were going, who? What's that? And then the winner is, and they announced my name. I'm in the very, very back in the corner of the room. The guy sitting next to me says, "I think that's you." And it took a minute, and I looked at it, had my picture up there, and I started. It took me so long to get to the stage that they thought I wasn't there, and they started to go on to the next award. I'm like, wait!
You had to do a run-in on your own award.
Exactly. Don't go! I want that trophy. So,
well, I think sometimes
cool.
At that award now, again, compared to what most would call quote-unquote real sports, for a wrestling podcast to just blow away through all these ESPN-type personalities.
Again, yeah, just very humbling, and looking at it, saying, really? This is incredible. We then hosted a symposium, a talk. I got a bunch of podcasters the following day. I was astounded at the turnout for that they had put us in the large room and said, "Hey, we apologize. We put you in this large room because we really didn't have any other place." And the other ones, they're much smaller, so it'll be more intimate. But we're sorry, and we damn near filled the place.
Wow!
So it was crazy. It was really, really crazy. But I have found throughout all of this just the incredible loyalty and passion of wrestling fans, and the demand for more nostalgia. I guess nostalgia's cool again, and I'm old and I'm nostalgic, so we can play to that.
All right, wrestling fans, enjoying the discussion with Bruce Prichard. Let's take a brief time out, check out the event. We'll be right back.
Boston, something to wrestle with. Bruce Prichard and Conrad Thompson live at the House of Blues on Sunday, December the 17th, 2 p.m. start time. You can get your tickets at boxofgimmicks.com. Most importantly, make your plans to join us on Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock at the House of Blues right here in Boston. It is going to be a blast. You never know who's going to show up. You never know what's going to happen. Most important, be there.
Terre Haute this Monday, December 11th. WWE Live returns for the first time in 2 years with a massive main event as WWE Champion AJ Styles collides with United States Champion Baron Corbin in a champion versus champion match. Plus, Randy Orton battles Rusev one-on-one. And don't miss many more of your favorite superstars live. It's the WWE Live Holiday Tour in Terre Haute this Monday, December 11th. Tickets are available now.
Wrestling fans, I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm John Cena Sr.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to let you know how the action and excitement of the Millennium Wrestling Federation can come to your city live to help raise cash for your nonprofit cause. Experience the action and excitement of the Millennium Wrestling Federation live in your city throughout New England, the tri-state area, down through the Carolinas, out to our friends in the Midwest and beyond.
If your nonprofit organization is looking for an interactive turnkey experience while putting the fun into fundraising, you've met the perfect tag team partner to work with every step of the way.
The MWF offers a variety of packages for groups of almost any size, from our live events at the Boston Garden, the Kowloon Entertainment Dining Complex, and the legendary Suffolk Downs, to high school gyms and function halls. We've presented live events everywhere and anywhere.
Since 2001, the MWF's mission has been simple: keep the kids off the streets. Under the leadership of President David Reese, we bring the superstars of yesterday, today, and tomorrow to your town. Not for a wrestling show, but an event that features action-packed in-ring wrestling, autograph and pose photo opportunities, Q&A sessions, and so much more. It's the best of sports and entertainment. The week of your event, we can add on to the endeavor with anti-bullying campaigns, library meet and greet reads, youth sport concussion seminars, and more.
Our live events are fit for fans of any age from 5 to 95. This fall, as part of our new Kids Club program, we offer live event experiences exclusively for the youngest of fans. On the flip side, we can produce a tailor-made event for fans of an older demographic as well. We work with you every step of the way to get the word out to fans near and far on our local television offerings and to over 50,000 fans and growing on our social media platforms.
Your success is our success. If your group has had enough of candy bar and wrapping paper sales and has the energy to team with our passionate fan base, bringing the NWF experience to your community is the answer to put smiles on faces while raising cash for your cause.
Contact us today to get the ball rolling for your custom-made event that you'll want to bring back year after year to your community.
Don't just take it from us. Here are the folks we've teamed up with in the past.
Cincinnati, this Tuesday, December 12th, the new era SmackDown Live returns with a massive double main event. See WWE Champion AJ Styles collide with Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship. Plus, Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Bobby Roode team up to battle Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Dolph Ziggler in a huge six-man tag team match. It's WWE SmackDown Live in Cincinnati, this Tuesday, December 12th. Tickets are available.
Wrestling fans, welcome back to Memories and Legends. We're here with the one and only Bruce Prichard.
Well, I think it's funny that a man that was with us so many times, not even over the telephone, but in the physical studio itself here, was actually the guy that kind of played second fiddle to you when you look at one of the great characters in wrestling history. We're talking about Paul Bearer. Some wrestling fans may not recall that it was actually you with a man that was the Undertaker's first manager. And then a few months later along came a very darkly dyed-haired Percy Pringle III.
Exactly. And the great thing about that was during that time I was working behind the scenes as well and was given a choice as to whether or not I wanted to continue to be a talent on the road with The Undertaker or to continue my duties behind the scenes. I chose to continue my duties behind the scenes. At the same time, Percy Pringle was coming up and looking for a job. When he did his interview, Percy spoke of the fact that he was a mortician in real life and always kept his mortician's license active because he never knew what may befall him, that if the wrestling business didn't work out, then he could always go back and be a mortician. The Undertaker and a mortician, it just fit. It was absolutely perfect. So there was no better manager for The Undertaker than Paul Bearer.
I tell you, a guy that I miss every single day, someone that played such a huge part of everything we've done here over the past 16 years, and even though he's not with us physically any longer, his spirit is still with us each and every day, as we have the little graphic for him to introduce each and every program that we do. You have maybe a quick Paul Bearer, Percy Pringle story off the top of your head that the fans might get a kick out of, where he's so beloved up in our area.
Well, Percy used to just think that everything that I did was a rib to him. We would do the vignettes in the graveyards in the middle of the night, all night long, because A, it's got to be at night if you're going to do a graveyard vignette, and B, because that is about the only time that you really can't do them, because you don't want to do it in the middle of the day where people are coming to visit their loved ones. And it always seemed to work out that no matter when we did them, no matter where we did them, that there would be inclement weather. It would either be snowing, raining, or, quote, flesh-freezing winds, which we did. We did summon flesh-freezing winds. So Percy would look at me like, this has got to be a rib. And we would send him out to get those long shots and the crazy shots. And I remember putting him and Taker out in the middle of a cemetery, and this was during the flesh-freezing winds. And there was so much snow that the snow came up right below Undertaker's knees. But we had to get him out there, and the idea was the shot I wanted is obviously I didn't want to see the footprints on the way out to the snow. So we had to get them out there, put them out there, and then I had to have someone come back and smooth out the snow so you didn't see the footprints. And they stood out there forever and probably could have gotten frostbite and all kinds of other horrible things. But he cursed me for days, weeks, months, years. And then when he went with Mankind and we did the vignettes where we were digging the grave for the Undertaker was digging Mankind's grave. It was a torrential downpour. But me, putting my producer hat on, I'm like going, oh my God, I love this. What better visual than to be in a cemetery at night in the pouring rain? And to have Mankind crawling through a muddy cemetery. It was great. And Paul had just got, the only suit he had was a brand new custom-made suit. And he looks at me and says, I'm not going to ruin this. He says, I'll buy you another one. He says, it's a $1,000 suit. I said, I'll buy you another one. But he got back to me because I had a brand new Grand Jeep Cherokee at the time, and Paul traipsed through the Cherokee in the mud and got everything as muddy and as wet as he possibly could. And just he got me back. But it was Those were good times. That's just always, I always loved working with Paul. He was a joy to work with.
He loved his ribs. He actually broke one of my, the cane that I need to walk with. He broke over someone's back during one of the events when I didn't know he'd even taken my cane out to ringside. That was one of the times I wanted to kill him. But a lot of fun. But you know what? He also lived up to his birth-given last name sometimes, too. He could be a little moody if he had to be.
A little bit, yeah.
But what an ambiance those promos created back during the days from the early, maybe to mid-'90s until the Attitude Era hit, when The Undertaker really was more of a dead character. Like you're talking about, the graveyard scene. I remember the one in the shed with Kamala building the coffin and things like that. Those are some vignettes that'll live in the fans that watch them's minds forever, and they can relive them nowadays for only $9.99 per month over on WWE Network if they want some old Undertaker stuff.
Or they can listen to me talk about them for free on Something to Wrestle With.
Yeah, you've done.
I actually have the blueprints of Kamala's coffin hanging up here in my office.
Really?
Yeah.
On
that very shoot.
You have an extensive Undertaker program, at least one I think you've already produced, right?
Yes, we did, and we have a ton of them in the archives. But the Undertaker one is one of our most listened to ever. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's going to be, with the Undertaker's career, a heck of a lot more episodes to come on him as time goes on with something to wrestle with.
With the big guys like that, yeah, we just picked a few years that we would cover, and then as we go on, we'll pick another couple of years in their career. But people like, Bret Hart, Undertaker, John Cena, something like that, we're going to pick a few years and do it at a time, so we get more than one out.
Well, that really does it justice. As I sit here in this little podcast studio, I'm probably about 20 feet away from something you probably don't get asked about all that much. But after your time in WWE, what exactly did you have to do with another crazy guy that's been down here at this studio before, John Bradshaw Layfield, and his Layfield Energy Drink Company, as I see this giant 6-foot banner that we still have here?
Well, we did Mama Joanna, we did Layfield Energy, which to this day I still feel is the best energy drink that was ever produced, including 5 Hour and everybody else, because it had anti-inflammatory in it that kind of relieved the aches and pains. And his premise behind that was he always would have these guys that would take 5 Hour Energy and pop a couple of ibuprofen before they would play golf. We found out that, hey, you take this thing in the morning, it gave you unbelievable natural energy. It had a natural anti-inflammatory in it, and it was tremendous. But we had a lot of fun doing that. And obviously, it didn't take off. We didn't have the kind of budget that the other energy drinks did. But Layfield's one of my best friends in the business, and I love him to death.
I will second what you said about those energy drinks wholeheartedly. We had I don't even know if you knew all that much about it, but we had a great campaign here in the Millennium Wrestling Federation. Even while he was WWE Intercontinental Champion, WWE was nice enough to let him come down to the studio, do an interview, shoot some vignettes. He had a heel faction that he led to beat the ever-living hell out of John Cena Sr. in the warehouse here at the studio, and he dumped Layfield energy drinks all over John Cena's mouth, face, and even a little bit in the piece. That probably needed as much cleaning as Paul Bearer's suit, but that's a different story for a different time. But I tell you, I have a dilapidated body. I was in a very bad accident. And in all seriousness, John was kind enough to send me, case upon case of the drink anytime I ran out of them. And I used to have a couple a day at work when I worked down the street at Comcast as a commercial account executive, and they helped get me through the day.
They really did. I loved them. They didn't taste all that great, but they worked great. And it was something that I wish was still available today. But, business is business.
Yeah, got that right. But I tell you this, he takes a beating sometimes from the smart fans on the internet, but I think John Layfield is a great guy.
Well, he really is. And I think that the rumor and innuendo, John doesn't defend himself and isn't going to stand up and say one way or another, but I do believe deep down, I know the human being, John Layfield, and I know what's truly there, and it's really a good guy, and he's a wonderful human being, one of my best friends.
Terrific guy. Had a lot of laughs with him and his partner in crime, Ron Simmons. But back to the matter at hand, Bruce, again. Sunday night, December the 17th, 2 p.m., just a few short stops on the Green Line on the MBTA away from the TD Garden. You can turn it into a doubleheader if you want, or if you just want to have that great old feeling when the gates were ready to come up at the old Boston Garden from a man that experienced so much from the mid-'80s all the way up into this decade. You're talking about the one and only Bruce Prichard. He loves you, especially if you buy a T-shirt over on brucepritchard.com. And you can get all the information and ticket info you need at boxofgimmicks.com for what's going to be a heck of a fun afternoon over at the House of Blues.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there. We are going to have a blast. We're going to end 2017 the right way. It's our last show of 2017, and we are going to end it in a big way.
I don't know how much more, fans, we can say about that. Again, the tickets are available online, boxofgimmicks.com. We'd love to receive your feedback after the show to see what you thought of it. It's really a great experience. You know, there's been I don't know if you know this, Bruce, there's been a pay-per-view from WWE in Boston each year since 2011. It's not as special as it used to be anymore, especially when you get down to the B pay-per-views like we have this year. But something to wrestle with live. This is a first. And it's at House of Blues. It's right across the street from Fenway Park. The only thing you might be feeling blue about when it's over is the fact that baseball season is still about 3 months away, and we still have a lot of cold to get through. But you're going to have a lot of laughs and a lot of fun. It's something to wrestle with.
Well, then, there's nothing to be blue about here in Houston because we have the world champion Astros here.
Well, you know, rub it in, Bruce. I'll say this. I was able to go to the one playoff game the Red Sox were actually able to win. Doug Fister only lasted about an inning and a third, but you know what? Good for the city of Houston. You guys have been through a lot. I know we spoke about it on the phone, Bruce, but how are things on the home front down there now a couple of months after the fact, and the news has kind of moved on to more sexy, hot topics right now than the recovery?
Well, you know, it has, and if you didn't know the devastation that we went through, you wouldn't know visiting Houston. However, there are still parts of the city that need complete rehabilitation, that need to be completely rebuilt still. And, hey, we just pick up and we move on, we fix it, and do what needs to be done. So we're doing fine down here.
Well, glad to hear that you and our good friend Shelton Benjamin made out the best you could during that tragic storm. But again, fans, we don't want to end on a downer. We're just days away from something to wrestle with live. Bruce, if you have a fan on the bubble that's saying, what's going to get me out of the house on a Sunday afternoon? It's going to be cold. It's Christmas time. We got shopping to do. Shoot from the hip, brother. Get him in the door.
Hey, listen, folks, if you like or love the podcast, Something to Wrestle With, and you sit there and you think, wow, you know, I'm hearing stories that I never thought I would be able to hear. Multiply that by about 10. And if you come out live with other like-minded people, you are going to have a day that you will never forget. Because I tell stories and we do things. The visual, you know, often people say, man, why don't you guys do a video with this? Well, man, we're live in Boston. So you're going to get the visual that goes along with the audio, and we're going to perform for you. And that, I promise you, you're going to get what we can't give you on the podcast. Stories that we entrust our live audience with, that stays there, and it makes you a part of a very elite group that gets to share in story time with Bruce on Sunday, December 17th.
Unbelievable, fans. I don't put over anything, and I highly, highly suggest you come on out and have a great afternoon. Whether you decide to go into the pay-per-view or not, the House of Blues is the place to be. For our friend Bruce Prichard down in Houston, Texas, I'm Dan Marotti. Until we speak again, folks, you and yours, be well.
Manchester on Friday, December 15th. Experience the excitement of WWE Live with a massive main event as Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose collide with Sheamus and Cesaro for the Raw Tag Team Championship. Plus, the monster among men, Braun Strowman, battles Samoa Joe one-on-one. It's the WWE Live Holiday Tour in Manchester, Friday, December 15th. Tickets and VIP packages are available.